I understand that men want to look for choosing signals when it comes to female attraction and aiming to see which women are actually attracted to them. However, you might be surprised how often a woman is feeling you or checking you out and you don't really know about it. And it's because, well, number one, if you're an attractive dude and you know it, likely if this is a woman who maybe she has a little bit lower self-esteem, she's not going to want you to know that she's checking you out because she doesn't want you to feel like she is giving you validation or attention. She doesn't want to puff up your ego, right? But women, they will absolutely try to get with you sometimes just to have you chase them because it fuels their ego and validation. It makes them feel like they're artificially more valuable than they really are, especially if you're an attractive dude, because it's kind of like, well, imagine this, right? Imagine, I don't know, this is the most like bizarre, overt example that I can give, but imagine Transformers Megan Fox, okay? Just, fawning over you for a second. Just imagine that. That'd feel pretty good as a man, right? Like, maybe she wouldn't be wife material, but holy crap, dude. Like, that feels pretty nice to have Megan Fox, going all over you like that, right? She wants you. Feels good. Sometimes that's how women, if you're an attractive dude, and I'm not saying you're the female version or you're the male version of Megan Fox, but I'm just saying that if you're an attractive dude, it's going to be like that sometimes. Women will see that, like, they'll just want to be wanted by you. They don't actually maybe want a relationship with you because sometimes they might think that, you're a cheater or you're somebody that's not who they say they are because they're so used to these chads that are liars and deceivers. And look, it is what it is. And I'm not necessarily saying that you shouldn't be a chad or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's what happens, right? The alphas usually break the woman's hearts, and it just is the case that when a woman breaks a man's heart, it's usually way worse than the other way around. It just is the case. I'm not saying either one is right. I'm just saying that's the way that it is sometimes. And if a woman is checking you out or feeling you, but she doesn't want you to know about it, let's say she's at the gym, for example, right? You guys are at the gym. She might go to the complete opposite end of the room and she's mapped out, like in her head, which mirrors to look at to get certain angles of which spots in the gym. I swear, dude, I swear on my life, that's what some of these women have done. And you'll see women like, peer through the cracks of the mirrors where there are certain machines at, and you'll see their eyes. They're watching you, and they want you to know that they're watching you, but they don't want you to know that they're watching you. They want you to make the move, of course. And so after that happens, after you notice, you look over and you see her eyes, in between on the mirror, like of the machine, right? In between the machine in the mirror, rather. And then she comes over, she flips her hair, and she bends down accidentally. Obviously she's trying to lure you in. And that's very obvious, right? Obviously, very obvious. And this is a classic gym example of how that happens. But you'll never know sometimes because if a woman, like I said, if a woman has lower self-esteem, she's not going to want you to know that she likes you sometimes. And especially if you have confidence in yourself as a man and you're not easily shaken, oh boy, that's going to be a plot twist for her because she's not used to that. She's not used to men actually knowing their worth. Most women nowadays are just not used to men knowing who they are and what they want and are willing to go after what they want and holding their frame as well. Now, what does it mean to hold the frame as a man? Well, holding your frame as a man is just really conjuring your spiritual presence because your sexual attraction as a man starts with your spirit, okay? A lot of people don't want to believe that. A lot of people want to think that it's the sexual status is based on money, looks, and whatever. And now, don't get me wrong, like those things are important to have to be like the total package and all that, but women will look to your spirit first. Okay, that's just the very first thing they will look at. They'll look at how you dress, because they're always checking you out, even when you think that they're not. Okay, I've had women, they've noticed like the littlest things. I used to wear this ring, this lion ring. I used to wear it quite often. I don't really wear it much anymore because I don't know really why. I just don't really wear it anymore. I don't know. It was just kind of an accessory that I liked for a while, and I don't really wear it too often anymore. But this woman would notice, like on the ring that I have, there's a lion, and then on the side there's like two flames, and then on the other side there is an angel. And she noticed, like this woman noticed at the coffee shop that I used to go to, she noticed this thing, and I had no clue that she was, looking at me. I had no clue she was checking me out. And because, if you're a man that's mature, usually you can act like aloof, and you can just notice the women that are actually noticing you without them thinking that, or knowing that you're actually noticing them noticing you. And just because you're present, right? You're just feeling the energy. You can see energy. Okay, if you're really good with energy as a man, it's going to be hard for a woman to lie to you. It just is. More often than not. Doesn't mean you can't get got, but for sure, it's going to be more difficult. But anyways, this woman at the coffee shop, she noticed like the angels and the flame. She asked me what it was, and I was like, I didn't even know you were looking at me like that. I didn't even know. I was very confused. I was very puzzled. But I enjoyed that there was a woman that was actually, she was noticing those things. And I didn't know why I enjoyed it. And because it wasn't like I was seeking validation or anything. And it wasn't like I was yearning to be seen. It was just like, wow, she's really paying attention to the details. But you know what, dude? They're all like that, dude. They are all like that. They will notice everything. They don't just look at like one aspect of who you are. Okay, they look at your entire spirit. They look at everything about you. Us men, we can be like, oh yeah, I like blondes or I like brunettes. And I'm not saying that that's like what you should go off of, especially if you're a godly man. Okay, if you're a godly man and you're wanting a godly woman, yeah, you're going to need to look at more than just her looks, for sure, obviously. And on this channel, we follow Christ. And I welcome anybody that doesn't follow Christ, of course, but I will let you know that this is a Christ-based channel. So just for forewarning, I guess, and foreclosure. Anyway, so if you're a godly man and you actually want to have a godly woman, yeah, you're going to want to look at other aspects of who she is and why she is the way that she is and how she behaves and why she behaves this way and why she behaves that way. And you're going to want to understand like why she does and why she is the way she is. Because you don't want to be around a woman that is, hiding herself. There's never anything good that comes from a woman hiding herself. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit reserved, but if she's not transparent and honest, now look, of course, like you need to have your guard up. I'm not telling women just submit to any man, but sometimes they can go a little crazy. But I notice that women are always like this, and sometimes they don't really care what you look like. I've had women tell me just the way that I walk was intriguing to them. And I'm 5'6", okay? I'm 5'6". I've had women that are almost 6 feet tall that are just like, they want me, man. They really want me. And these are very attractive women as well. And it's because I'm just not afraid of them. I'm not afraid to be myself around them. And it's fascinating because I was never like this up until a few years ago, maybe like 5 years ago now. I was never like this. And it was only when I really started to follow Christ that everything really changed. And it was interesting because as soon as I began to follow Christ, it was almost like the dynamic between me and women shifted immediately. And it's not like I saw women as second-class citizens by any stretch of the imagination, but I knew that I was dominant with them. And I knew that I had to like penetrate their aura bubble. Like we all have energy fields, right? And if you've ever meditated, for example, you can feel the energy that you hold and kind of letting gravity just settle into what you're feeling in that moment and who you are in that moment. And you can just feel your body resting in space, right? And you can almost feel the density of your energy around you. And it, like if you like that kind of energy, if you like yourself, if you love yourself, you're going to feel that energy. You're going to like it. And that's what a woman will feel around you. If you like yourself, how you often see yourself is going to be how women see you. That's just the way that it is. And so if you see yourself as somebody that is calm, cool, collected, you're not really socially anxious, you're not depressed, you're not any of these things, she's not going to see you like that. But sometimes it is going to be like maybe you've got like an injury or something, right? Maybe you've got an injury and now she can like have her motherly instincts kick in. She's going to want that. She's going to want to enjoy that. She's going to want to be like nurturing to you. Because sometimes a lot of men will think, well, that's weak, right? They'll think like, oh, well, I can't show weakness or I can't show vulnerability. You can be vulnerable. In fact, I'm not saying like you should be vulnerable, but I'm not saying that you should be vulnerable for vulnerability's sake. You can be vulnerable as long as it's not influencing your future with her. Okay, if it's like your past, maybe you have like some battle scars or some spiritual battle scars, you can be vulnerable about that. And then, you know, what you're doing to change that. Like, for example, I don't know why, but when I started to tell women about my story about losing weight, for example, very simple story, like it's nothing crazy. Like it really isn't that complicated. And, you know, they just told me like how I'm in good shape and all that. And they like that I'm working out. They like that I just like to keep healthy. Because I'm not the biggest guy in the world, obviously. And I'm not the most ripped guy. But I like to be healthy. I like to work out as often as I can. And I take care of myself. And women like that. You know, they do like that. Don't get it twisted. So there was this woman and she enjoyed that aspect of me. And it was just my confidence with her. And it was just that the fact that I was able to, especially with that the 6 foot tall woman, I was able to just chill and settle into my own density of my aura around her. It was my spirit that she was attracted to. It wasn't really anything else. It was just the spirit of who I am and who I was. And when I would tell these women about like my story with how I was almost 200 pounds and I decided to, well, I could start, you know, I could keep playing video games and I could keep being a loser, or I could start aiming to be a winner. And I chose to start aiming to be a winner. Okay, well, what does that symbolize? Well, I am being vulnerable, but I'm also being truthful, and I'm also demonstrating competence to some degree. It's not that complex. Like, you just have to talk about something that you overcame, and that it's not going to affect you in the future, but you know, you can show who you are to some degree. And that's just a small example, right? Nothing out of the ordinary. You don't have to go too crazy with it. But for some reason, it sparks women's nurturing qualities. It sparks their motherly qualities. And I think a lot of men will overlook this because they fear that being vulnerable will make them look weak. And actually, vulnerability is your biggest strength if you know how to use it, especially when it comes to women. And you just have to be aware of what you're actually being vulnerable about. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that word. Vulnerable. Blah, blah, blah. It's late. It's like, it's almost my bedtime. But anyways, guys, I wanted to come through with this video and I wanted to let you know about this because I think a lot of men need to just be aware of this and talk about this. It's not anything to be too excited about. You know, it's just something to notice. And it's something that I think that if you are more aware of it, you'll be able to see how you can improve your own game in life and how you can improve. And I don't like using that term game per se, but you can improve your own spiritual characteristics. Let's say that. You can improve your own spiritual characteristics and your whole integrity as a whole. So with all that being said, I hope this video was useful and insightful for you. The Regal Change Academy group that we have, there are now tiers to it, okay? So the platform that we have the community and group on, School, SKOOL, we now have a free tier, a premium tier, and then the VIP tier. The free tier, you can join the community, but you won't have access to the calls or the classes. The premium tier, you'll have access to the calls and the classes. And then the VIP tier, you're going to be having access to everything in the other tiers, plus 2 mentorship calls with me. But if you want to, per month, and if you don't want to do the VIP, you can do the premium. If you don't want to do the premium, you can do the free tier, right? But be mindful, because we're not just going to keep people around who aren't active in that community, okay? If you join for free, but you're not really active, we're going to let you go, because we want people that are active. We want people that are actually engaged, people that are godly and actually want to improve their lives, all right? And if you want to schedule a one-on-one mentorship call with me, but you don't want to be in the Regal Change Academy, that's fine too. I have that option available. All right. I also have the Godlike Master Initiation Program available as well. And that's going to be for more, in-depth calls. Those are going to be more serious people. They want to go deeper. All right. So with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. Peace. Until next time.